Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of MTG Sin Senpai. I am a little bit late on this particular video, but finally getting around to it. This is my prize packs from the Edge of Eternities pre-release. It was a fun time, absolutely. Actually, I was not. I was going into this particular set not expecting too much, but the set was actually a lot of fun. It was an absolute blast. I do apologize again for the delay. Life's just been happening. I finally did get my desk cleared off, and now I'm going to get into this. I do also have, shortly after this particular video goes up, I will be recording the next video, and I got my hands on this finally. So do look forward to this. I will be, this will be going up at some point in the near future. With that being the case, let's go ahead and get into these now. But I know it's a little late, but let me know what you guys thought of the Edge of, if you guys went to any of the Edge of Eternities pre-releases, let me know what you guys thought. I mean, myself personally, I definitely had a lot of fun with this particular set. Like I mentioned earlier, I was not intentionally, or initially whenever I went into it, I really wasn't expecting anything in particular. But with this particular set, it's actually been a lot of fun, and starting right off, we got a definitely a banger of a pack. We got a double rare, we got a foil, and a regular. I gotta say, both of these are pretty powerful rares to play with. This one absolutely can win games, especially if you can get this to resolve. My goodness, the things that it can do. With that being the case, I also have to say, like, I did have a lot of fun with this particular pre-release. A lot of the games did feel a little bit more grindy, but not in a bad way. More of like, it was pretty fairly paced games of Magic as far as I felt. I didn't really, there was obviously the games where the opponent didn't get to, wow, I do got to point this out. This is a fun little combination. If you don't know what full bore does, gives a creature +3/+2, and then if you happen to warp it in, it also gets trample and haste. And then this particular guy, Bygone Colossus, if you warp it in, it's just a straight up 9/9. So on turn 4, potentially, you could warp this in, full bore it, and swing in for 12 trample haste. It's kind of nuts. One of my opponents, round 2, unfortunately, unfortunately for him, but fortunately for me, I did beat them. And then I went through their cards and I saw that they had both of these. I'm like, man, you got to do this. It's pre-release. How often are you going to be able to pull this particular combination off? And then, funny enough, from my understanding, the next round he did it to their opponent and won both of those games. So it's just a ridiculous thing that you could do. And speaking of ridiculous cards, I gotta say this is one of the dumbest rares in the set. It's like the Praetor Gix from Brothers War with built-in creatures and life gain. I mean, it's just a nuts card. Wow, these have been amazing packs right off the bat. I mean, this is another double rare pack with a pretty solid foil. I feel like a sack outlet that is repeatable with no cost other than sacking a thing. Is pretty neat. Having that in foil is pretty cool. And then these two are pretty amazing rares. Exalted Sunborn definitely is, it's a token doubler. All token doublers that I've seen have all been like ridiculous value. And in this particular one, even if you don't hit the 5 mana, you could warp it in for 2 and then double a thing for a turn. So it's already, I think it's an absurd card. And if nothing else, I mean, not even looking at the token doubling part, it is a 5 mana 4/5 flying lifelink angel. So it's kind of dumb. But yeah, wow, these packs have been absolute fire. And then look at that. Like, that's three, I gotta say, that's 3 bangers in a row. Because, man, it's my first time pulling this particular card. But, yep, we got ourselves a Sliver Overlord. Gotta be one of the craziest things that you can pull in the special quest slot. And I do enjoy the fact that, like, even though it's a brand new card, you watch me open it, it's got the slight wear and tear as it feels like an OG sci-fi poster. So that's super cool. And, man, these have been amazing. And then we got ourselves a Swarm Yard as well. So that's already a double rare pack. And so that's a triple rare pack. Almost quadruple rare. The foil, unfortunately, was not. But, you know what? I'll count the alternate art, full art land. It may not be foil, but that's still a pretty amazing pack. I'm going to set that aside from the regular basic lands. But, yeah, so far for these prize packs, these have been absolute fire. Holy crap. That's what, 3 packs, and each one had double, right? Or at least double. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's already. We've only opened 3 packs when we've already gotten, what's that? 7 rares. That's nuts, nuts, man. Super awesome. I mean, I guess in the small benefit of me waiting to open these, because I've been just sitting on these for a few weeks. But now that I've opened them, like, holy crap, these packs have been amazing. Got ourselves a Mightborn Harmonizer, pretty ridiculous Landfall Matters thing, and then, yeah, I mean, not every pack could be bangers, but so far, I mean, 3 for 4 has been pretty nuts. And I mean, man, if I had opened up that Sliver Overlord during the pre-release, you best believe I would find a way to make 5-color soup work or something, especially during pre-release. I mean, the fact that there's landers and things of that nature in the set, just natural. There's so many things that just make random landers that I absolutely would have found a way to make the 5-color happen. Be it if I either have mana rocks or other things. I mean, there's got to be ways. I for sure would have made that happen. But fun. I mean, you saw me pull the Sliver Overlord, but first event on Friday at 7, I was lucky enough to my first pack. Opened up the pack, I got myself a borderless Tezzeret, the new Tezzeret, which, man, that was an amazing card. It was an amazing run for that first event. I went 4-0, and yeah, I mean, everything of the set has been pretty awesome. I know, I mean, yeah, it's a sci-fi set that's in space, so it's not your regular Magic setup, but it does still feel like Magic, if that makes any sense. I mean, yeah, we've got these futuristic type creatures and things of that nature, but, like, I feel like they did pretty well in keeping to the theme of, like, actual Magic cards themselves, even if they are space related. And speaking of space related cards, that's the Supernova, ridiculous card. Do mind, I think, if I remember correctly, I saw a clip of, it was Jimmy Wong from Game Nights that attempted to play this during one of Professor's videos that he was on. Tried to play it when he had no creatures, and this says at the beginning of your end step, if any player has no creatures, you sack this. So don't play that when anyone has an empty board, otherwise you're just wasting an amazing enchantment. And then let me know what you guys think about the fact that there's no more art cards in the play boosters. Myself personally, I think that's just an absolute blessing, because from my experience, there's a lot of people that just ditch the art cards. They really don't care. The only time I've seen people really care about art cards is the Final Fantasy set, just because there were people that was trying to collect them. But every set but before that had the art cards, like, the number of times I saw people just ditch the art cards or just throw them away, that's when I decided, you know what, I would start taking them just to... The plan is I'm doing some kind of special table and we'll lay them all out and make a, super cool top with it, and then epoxy it over. But now that there's none of those packs, like, I'm not complaining, because, I have, at this point, almost 5,000 art cards. So I just need to find a table and take the time to epoxy it. But the fact that now all the packs are going to have your token cards, and the fact that there's so many just random incidental tokens that are generated, it's kind of insane. And I gotta say, insane treatments. I love the way these look. Like the art on I don't know what it's called. Showcase treatment or what have you. There's so many different treatments now, but they do look amazing. Definitely a big fan. Foil regular land, and no one cares about regular foil lands anymore. It's all about the galaxy lands, and I know I can't get any of the galaxy foils in these particular packs, but it's no big deal. And the fact that the art cards are now only in collector packs, actually I do prefer that, I guess. Less likely to see them, but then now I think about it, it's like you don't get your foil tokens anymore, or you have a chance to not get a foil token, which myself personally, I'd rather have the foil token. So, I mean, it's oh, interesting. Same rare back to back. That's a first in a while for us. And then Galaxy Land and our token. But The fact, you know, I haven't opened enough of the collector packs, and I haven't really myself personally watched enough videos to know. But not every collector pack has a token now? So with that being the case, I'd actually rather have all the foil tokens, just because the foil tokens look cool. But that's myself personally. I'm a big fan of foil cards anyway. Let me know what y'all's thoughts are. I mean, oh, that's a beautiful Blink Moth Nexus. And I do gotta say, initially, at first, I was not a big fan of these, but now that I see them in person, God, these things look amazing. It is annoying that the name is in the middle of the card instead of on the top of the card now, but still super cool. Got ourselves a Mutinous Massacre. Ooh, and another triple rare pack with a Secluded Starforge. Super cool, super neat. And then I gotta just point this out. This particular lander token kind of reminds me of, it looks like the front view of a Charger from Helldivers 2. Just a little bit. I know it's not exact. Obviously, it's not the exact same thing, but I think it just still looks neat. All right. Wow, we still have actually a lot more packs than I realized. I actually did pretty well this weekend overall when it came to wins, losses. It was just an absolute blast. Definitely had a lot of fun this particular set. God, the worst Goif in existence. I can't think of one that's even that's worse than this, period. It's just a bad Goif. They should not have made that exist. The fact that it checks for cards that you own in Exile, it makes it super bad. If it just checked any cards in Exile, period, I feel like it would be a lot better. I'm guessing they were going off of the whole, if you're planning on warping things out into Exile, but myself personally, when it comes to warped creatures, I don't think I've ever had more than 2 creatures out in Exile from warping. So it's like, it's kind of, ooh, sweet. Sorry, getting distracted by cool pulls and cool mythics, but warp as a mechanic is kind of unique, and it's kind of cool. Well, not unique, because, you know, it's similar to Adventure. But I didn't really need to warp too many creatures. And I think the most I ever had warped out at once was 2, maybe 3 creatures at once. Just because it's like, the concept is cool, but by the time I don't know, it's weird. I like that you can do it, and you can essentially get the effects of your creatures a little bit earlier, but at the same time, I don't think you would be needing to put that many into Exile, and with that being the case, that makes the Cosmogoyf? Yeah, Cosmogoyf way worse. I do got to pause and say this. I saw this happen multiple times. It got a lot of people. It almost got me. This only hits non-creature, non-lands. So if you were to play this, you cannot reanimate one of your creatures. So keep that in mind if you do play that. Don't overlook that. And speaking about not overlooking things, I don't think we've opened one yet. But the fact that the whole fiasco with diplomatic relations, the fact that it doesn't say what it actually does, and they actually had the errata that, Wizards has definitely has its moments, and that's got to be one of the worst ones, or the more egregious ones, I gotta say, especially because someone definitely, you know, proofread all these cards. Or at least I would assume that there's a department that proofreads everything. And oh, sorry, I tell you, gotta pause and enjoy the breeding pool. God, that just looks amazing. It's not foil, but that still looks super cool. We got ourselves an Emissary Escort and another foil common. But yeah, the fact that it went through quality control and someone did not check that, I mean, I can see where they overlooked it and they didn't really process it properly. But then at the same time, it's like, come on, guys, right? Wizards overall, I mean, we do know that when it comes to quality, sometimes it's not the best, sometimes a little bit lackluster, but at the same time, I mean, as a product that we as consumers are going to be constantly buying, another double rare pack, super cool. It's a weird niche for me to be in. Myself personally, I like misprints, and I do actually have my fair share of misprints that I own that I have set to the side. Maybe one day if someone requests, I can share what I have. It's nothing super crazy. I know I've seen some people that has the albino cards that are like, they're missing like certain layers of ink, and it's just all pale. And then there's the other ones that are like, it's supposed to be green, but it actually looks blue. And then all kinds of different crazy things. And of course, myself personally, the more the misprint is, the more I feel like it's super cool. There's a majority of mine are kind of subtle. I do have a good handful of like squared corner things, and mind you, these are things that I pulled out of packs like that. But you know, unless I opened it on video, which I did not, unfortunately. Those were back in the day whenever I opened them. But another reason why I like doing my videos now is the fact that, like, if I do pull some kind of crazy misprint or some kind of crazy thing that is not normal, at least I have video proof. I do gotta pause and just point out this stupid card. The fact that whenever this got spoiled and people were like freaking out that they brought back slivers, but I'm like, technically in the entire set you can only hit 2 different sliver cards. It's this one and the Overlord, and the chances of hitting them both together is absurd. I mean, the Overlord being in the special guest slot already makes it hard enough to pull as it is, and then the Thrumming Hive Pool, man, just, it is what it is. And then I can't tell you the number of people that did not put that in their decks whenever they had that. It's a colorless 6-mana bomb that will eventually overtake and win you the game. There is no reason not to play the card, especially in a limited scene. Now, in regular constructed, totally different, you know, beast. But if you're playing in limited, especially in this particular limited format, I do feel like the games go a little bit longer than the norm. And so with that being the case, you're very likely to hit that turn 6 and then start just pumping out the slivers and then eventually overtake your opponent. And then, like, there's plenty of things that pump your entire team. And so you can definitely go wide and just end the game. And speaking of, there's a second one. So if you happen to have more than one, definitely run them all. I mean, it's a, ooh, that's pretty. And we got ourselves a, out of all those packs, we only got one foil island. But for prize packs, I gotta say, this has gotta be, I think, one of the better pulls that I've ever done. I know I've done my fair share of videos at this particular point, and I'm trying to recall if I've hit anything crazier during a video, but myself personally, I can't, I mean, I'm sure someone could go back and double check, and I'll probably go back and double check later myself, but I don't think we've pulled anything as insane as the first 3 packs on this particular in this particular run, especially with the Overlord, the Sunborn, and yeah, it just all back to back, super crazy. So we're going over the mythics again. Salted Sunborn, God, Sliver Over. I love these movie poster things. I mean, I was either an infant or not even conceived yet whenever these were a big deal, but just, it's super cool to look at. Now, the only pain in the butt is, if you don't know the card and you're not really paying attention, it's hard to tell if this is the mana value or the mana cost, and then these are the 2 separate abilities. And then that's its power and toughness. I mean, it's kind of a weird thing. Again, we got ourselves the Super Void and the Adagaya, Windswept Bastion. I don't know. So I know there's plenty of cards that I have mispronounced. I have not pronounced them correctly, but I do my best. But yeah, definitely this particular set has been an absolute blast. At first, I will admit, whenever I heard of Edge of Eternities, I thought it was just going to be like another homage to the, what was that, the Infinity set, essentially. But this set definitely has it's definitely performed a lot better than I anticipated, and the fact that Shocklands are back in standard again, it's going to be nice to see a good, or not all of them, but a good handful of them are, at least half of them are. So to see them all back in standard for now, gives me hope that there's going to be more Shocklands in the future, and here's to seeing what the mana bases will look like in the future. But thank you guys so much. If you made it to this particular point in the video, thank you again. I do appreciate y'all. Do take the time to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun jazz. I'd really appreciate it. If you do comment, I do take the time to read them all. And if I don't at least respond to them all, I do at least react to them all. So thank you guys again. I do appreciate you guys. Look forward to the next video coming out soon. And never forget, Senpai didn't notice. Good night.